So this is the final look of my non-toxic makeup look, or in case you run into your toxic ex. I'm not saying that I have any toxic exes at all, but if you were to have a toxic ex and, you know, accidentally run into them somewhere, you'll be fully prepared and equipped with all of your non-toxic good energy that it's just gonna like bounce right off of you. All that negative energy, gone. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy this video and hopefully you learn a thing or two about clean beauty. Thanks for watching. My first step, I always like to prep my skin before I use any natural products just because it doesn't have any silicones in the ingredients that I'm using. So this is a little hydration mist, and then I'm gonna go in with this supernal oil, which has been one of my favorites to prep the skin with before I go in with any foundations. One of my things that I do for every makeup look is I use this LAKEY Pure paper liner. So that way I look a little bit more bright and awake. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shade Cloud 9 by Carewise, which is actually this guy right here. I love to use that as a base before I go in with any other eyeshadows, just so it will help the other shadows blend better. This also makes your eyes look a little bit more bright and awake. I like to put it in the inner corner of the eye. I'll go back and do that at the end just to create that pop. Sometimes we lose that when we're working with the other eyeshadows. So now I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush. It doesn't matter which one you use. This one has bronzer on it already because that's what I typically use with it. And this is the shade that I'm going to use. This is RMS, and I'm just going to go in with a little bit of it on my fluffy brush and then go into the outer corner, but keeping it close to the lash line. I'm slowly starting to work it into the crease. With whatever remaining shadow that's on the brush, I like to put it onto the inner corner. I want to keep everything really simple because we're not going for a super dramatic makeup look. We're looking for, you know, an effortless, I didn't try to look like this. So then I'm going to go in with this guy. This is also a bunch of Carewise shadows that I like to put into a palette. You can save money on the refills instead of having to buy the entire compact. I'm gonna use this Earthly Calm, and I'm gonna go in with that and keep it close to the lash line as well. I'm going to go in with this Ilia gel liner right here, and this is really great for staying in place. It's pretty smudge proof, which is hard to find in like the natural world. Then I'm going to kind of flick it up a little bit. I'm going to use my finger to finish off the wing. My fingers are already at like a pointed shape, so it makes this really easy for me. Next, I'm going to use this Ilia mascara right here. And this is the After Midnight mascara. It's a bestseller. It doesn't transfer or flake, which is really nice because a lot of natural mascaras can do that. This one stays in place really well. And you can use the shorter end of the wand closer to your roots, and then you can use the longer one to separate everything. My next step is using this Vertly lip balm right here. This has 25 milligrams of CBD, which will help calm your nerves when you run into your ex-man. My next step is going to be the skin. So I already prepped my skin with that oil, and I'm going to use the Kosas tinted oil. This is what it looks like, and I'm just gonna shake it up. This requires some shaking because there's a lot of different oils in here. This is the shade 06, and I'm just gonna put a couple drops on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna just use my fingers to apply this. I literally just used one drop. The goal of foundation is just to help even out your skin tone. It's not necessarily to help with concealing anything. So you don't have to be super heavy-handed. You don't have to have a full coverage foundation. Really, you just have to have a fuller coverage concealer, because concealer is what goes in and corrects in real issues that you have on your skin. As far as concealer goes, I'm going to use 33 from RMS. This is the Uncover Up Concealer. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm gonna fix. I've got this little blemish here that I'm gonna cover up. And then a little bit of discoloration on my chin area. The Uncover Up is a little shiny, so I like to use a translucent powder to put underneath my eyes. I'm gonna use the Brightening Under Eye Powder from Well People. This also helps with brightening the under eye, which is always essential for me. Usually I'll use like a damp beauty sponge, but with natural products, sometimes the product can be picked up in the sponge and not much is left remaining. So I'm actually going to use a dry beauty blender. Just kind of like lightly, very lightly go over that. And then for the rest of my face, I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush. This is Antonym Fluffy Brush. And I'm just gonna use this for the rest of my face, and I am going in with the brightening powder because if you put it all over your face, it will just kind of help brighten everything. So now that we've powdered, I'm gonna go in with a powder bronzer, and I'm going to go in with the RMS palette here, the same bronzer that I used on my eyes. I'm gonna go in all over my face. I'm gonna use the same brush that I used for my translucent powder. And I'm gonna start just with a light hand because this RMS bronzer is not a joke. It is super pigmented. So I'm just really gonna try to blend that into my skin. Of course, we want to go under the chin area because we want to look like we have lost weight since the last time we saw our significant other. Okay, so now that the bronzer's done, I'm gonna do the brows. I'm kind of going all over the place, but whatever. So this is probably my only non-clean thing that I have in this routine. Glossier is not a clean brand. Some people think that they are just because they're minimalistic in their packaging and their design. This Glossier Flick has been amazing for my eyebrows. It really stays in place, and I am missing a few spots here. I'm currently trying to grow my brows, so there's just some patches that I need to fill in, and I feel like every other product that I use just doesn't stay, but this actually stays in place really well. So I am cheating a little bit, but your man probably cheated on you, so. So then to finish my brows, I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Boy Brow. This is in the shade Medium. Ooh. your ex won't know, that's for sure. For the blush, I'm going in with Wise. This is the shade Lovely, which has become one of my favorite blushes. It's a very bright color, and I'm gonna go in with the stippling brush. Okay, I just really wanted to use that brush, but I'm just gonna use my finger because it's gonna show up better. Alright, so to finish off my makeup look, I'm going to do the rest of my lower lashes, and I'm just gonna use a small fluffy brush like this right here. And going back in with that bronzer, I'm just going to do the lower lashes here. My favorite part is going to be the highlight. This is the Tata Harper highlight. It's got kind of this iridescent white look to it, but when it's on the skin, it actually looks really good. So I just like to put a little bit on the back of my hand and then warm it up on the back of my hand and then place it onto the skin. For the final step of this makeup look, I'm going to use the RMS Nighttime Nude Liner. This is one of my favorite lip liners of all time. The color is just perfect. And I'm going to fill in my whole lip with it so that it will stay in place longer. I also like to use my finger to kind of blot it so that it looks a little bit more natural. It's not a harsh line. This is the shade Nude Rose. It's one of my favorite glosses. I kind of want to add a little bit more bronzer, so I'm going to add a little bit more. I like to finish off with this rollerball perfume from Lake & Sky. It's called 1111. It's a blend of white ambers. It's one of my all-time favorite smells. It smells like super fresh and clean. So this is my non-toxic clean makeup look. Thanks for watching.